Hello, my name is Suzanne and I am your intuition coach. So these morning shower aha moments that I share with you also help me to unravel many of my own beliefs and old conditioned patterns of how I experience the world. So today is especially one of those unraveling paradigm shifts for me, and it has to do with forgiveness. So last week, I was reading my friend Louise Eddington's blog, and her message tied really well with my last week's video on stories, patterns, and cycles, and into this week's message about forgiveness. So Louise was writing about how your life story can be told in a way to heal from the past. She goes on to write about forgiveness, and something she wrote caught my attention. She expressed how the people in her life who helped shape her story were doing what they were shaped to do, and there was no intentional malice on their part for her to blame them or for her to feel a sense of shame. She was able to forgive, or this is the best part, felt that there was really nothing to forgive. Now, when I read that, I got goosebumps all over my body because what she revealed was profound. She realized that there really is nothing to forgive. I mean, reading her blog brought up memories of all of the hundreds of bodies I have worked on over the years doing therapeutic body work, where I witnessed many holding patterns held in the body, sometimes due to the need to forgive either themselves or another person. And some of my clients even expressed to me that they found it difficult to release the muscles in their body, and they could not find it in themselves to forgive a person for doing an unforgivable act. Or some of them even expressed that they are able to forgive temporarily, but when they're around the person who they perceive did them wrong and continues to do so, they feel challenged. And it definitely is easier to forgive when a person who you perceive did you wrong goes away and you don't have to interact with them anymore. But what do you do when that person is still in your life and you feel challenged by them? I mean, it might be a family member whom you don't feel like you can get away from them, but you want to be able to manage your emotions when you're around them, right? Well, there are so many teachings from religious points of view, from enlightened masters' points of view, from self-help books that all point to the virtue of forgiveness, and that in order to truly be free, we have to forgive. But what if, now bear with me because this could challenge your belief paradigms, but what if, like Louise wrote, what if you could discover a space to live within your inner knowing where you didn't need to be in the position to forgive in the first place? I mean, what if it was not your place to waste your precious energy on putting yourself in the position of forgiving, which ultimately activates a feeling of being better than, or being right, or being righteous about your path over another's path? I mean, I personally have the kind of personality that can forgive quite easily. I mean, I was gifted with a seizure disorder that allowed me to see the world in a whole different way. And without going into the details of my healing, let's just say today I don't need the seizures to force me to unconsciously detach from my uncomfortable experiences. And now I can detach consciously, realizing that through my attachment of, needing to fix or get closure or forgive, I can just recognize that there is nothing for me to forgive in the first place if I am in a space of non-judgment. Now, there's a fine line between detachment and disconnection, but that might be way too intense to go down that road in the short time we have in this video. So I choose to live in peace, and so I choose to reach for a place where I do not feel the need to forgive someone else's action in the first place, nor do I feel like I need to judge myself and forgive myself either. This is another place where people feel challenged, is that they think they need to forgive themselves. I mean, how about not judging yourself in the first place? I mean, believe me, the people who know me well know that I am very transparent with my feelings. And if I feel uncomfortable, I will say how I feel. But it's difficult for me to find the other person at fault and require that they apologize for how I feel about the situation. I have realized that the agendas people have may not always align to the agendas we have in any relationship. Plus, life has a way of sorting things out without us needing to be in the heaviness, in the muck of being in the forgiveness seat. So again, there's a fine line. While sometimes I do believe it is important to confront the person who you feel did you wrong, but it is equally important to not wait for an apology for something they may or may not even think was wrong. So the trigger or the questioning thought I can hear from so many of you that begs the question is, what is the difference between being sorry and taking responsibility for your actions? Well, I'm going to say it is my opinion that it is a personal journey for the person who is sorry or is not sorry, which in a lot of cases, that's the exact struggle that you have, that they aren't sorry, or you feel you need an apology. And needing an apology is the biggest trap of all. Can you find it in yourself to leave it up to them to deal with their actions rather than place yourself in a position of good, bad, right, wrong, and know what is best for them? I mean, being at peace with not needing to be in the judgment seat feels really light to me. And so I am going to continue reaching for more light feelings. In my opinion, the teachings of original sin and needing to be forgiven for something I didn't even do feels heavy, and it feels like a huge burden. And I believe that we all have original and innate goodness, and we make choices that animate our experience through free will. So I wonder if there are misunderstandings of the original well-intended teachings that are circulating around today that, causes so much pain for so many. I would like to believe that loving teachings are about freedom rather than a heavy load, that we humans are innately bad and full of sin. And if you feel a bit peeved with this message, I truly trust that you are on your chosen path, and I am so excited to be living in a time where I can speak my truth as well as listen to your truth without war, and we can honor one another through mutual respect. So my intention was to share a personal message of liberation and freedom. And if you choose, you can use this message to assist you in releasing the old patterns of beliefs that are taught that in order to be free, you must forgive or be forgiven. Again, while I believe that the forgiveness lessons are well-intended, I wonder if in order to be spiritually and emotionally free, we need to release the position of needing to forgive or be forgiven in the first place. So I really do love you, and I stand up for freedom, but not at the expense of monitoring another's right to express their own freedom of will. So there you have it. Please share this message if it resonates with your soul, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.